YMS, and this one titled Bird, taking us to Senegal. 15 minutes after 11 p.m. Central Africa time. If you've just joined us, welcome to GBB Tuesdays. And this is the focus for the Tuesday show of African Diaries. The name is Shayla Ndikumana, and it is time for us to get into our second conversation. Now, across South Africa, millions of young girls are still forced to miss school simply because they cannot access basic sanitary products. At the same time, many communities continue to struggle with something even more fundamental, which is access to clean water. These are not just social issues, they are dignity issues, education issues, and opportunity issues. In this hour, we meet a man who has decided that waiting for change is not enough. He wants to build the change himself. Joining us is Lonwabo Jabavu, who is a social entrepreneur. He's also a community builder and the founder of Flawless Foundation. Flawless Foundation aims to tackle period poverty and access to clean water. These are two challenges that affect millions of vulnerable families and schools across South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Lonwabo. Welcome to African Diaries.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go back in time for a second, sir. Firstly, the team and I were just talking about this, and we're saying the fact that you by yourself decided, I want to make a change, and you didn't just talk about the change, you initiated it, you established it, and now you're pushing forward. We commend you for the work that you do. Take us back to the beginning. When was this a realization for you? When did you look at your community, societies, and think, I want to be the impact that is needed?
You know, I grew up in the space of non-profit organization. I used to in Motherwell, Port Elizabeth, where I grew up. And one of the things that helped me a lot was to be in a structure of an NGO that I was part of at the time. And that seed was planted there. But however, I never knew exactly which area I'll be part of. You know, you'd not believe that I knew that there's a big problem with issues relating to water, because lack of water and lack of sanitary napkins are one of barriers of entry when it comes to education. And I kept on being bothered by these things. I guess when you carry a vision or pregnant with something, it just doesn't allow you to go to sleep. What other people does not get bothered by it bothered me. And I remembered some of the things that, you know, for example, in the house I grew up in, I've got 4 sisters and a mother in the house. And there were times and areas when I was growing up that my own family will use towels without having sanitary napkins. And I grew up seeing all these things consistently in an environment that I grew up in. And when it came to a time where now I wanted to make a difference, it came almost natural for me to choose sanitary napkins and access to water, because these are two things that bothered me as I was growing up.
The voice there of the founder of Flawless Foundation, that is Lonwabo Jabavu, joining us this evening. And his is to tackle period poverty and access to water through the foundation. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, we continue with this conversation.
Late night with African stories that matter. Tsepiso Makwetla on Africa World Hour.
I mean, we're seeing South Africa face challenges in the enforcement of an NHI plan. The Minister of Health is contending with legal action. There might be a will, but there would be opposition. And what is most important is the issue of equitable health services. How do we make sure that those policies translate into that?
Let me just give you a real example. In 19 1926, Japan started to discuss about primary healthcare and universal health coverage. By 1961, Japan was fully with universal health coverage. Do you know how long they live? They've got the longest lifespan in the world. So it's not theory anymore. In any country during COVID, if you remember 4 years ago, which fared well, there are those countries which had a very strong primary healthcare system. Because when we say health sovereignty, it's not about closing the doors to the partners. No, this is a process. But we need to give where our priorities, what can we do more with less.
Regional Director for Africa, Professor Lonwabo Jabavu.
Late Night with Tsepiso Makwetla. End your day inspired by Africa World Hour on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa's heart beats one story at a time on African Diaries with Shayla.
It is 21 minutes after 11 p.m. Central Africa time. We are still in conversation with Lonwabo Jabavu, who is a social entrepreneur and a community builder who founded Flawless Foundation. The foundation tackles period poverty and access to clean water. I want to talk about how you are tackling these issues, Lonwabo. I think yours is a remarkable one. It's not the hunt for funds. It's, of course, partnerships are more than welcomed. But you took a very interesting turn to tackle these issues. Talk to us about this.
You know, the NGO space is quite interesting. Yeah. You know, I could not wait for handouts. I could not wait for anyone to come and say, here's funding. Let me tell you, most of the time, we are the solutions we are looking for. Waiting for anyone to come to support your vision, you might never start. You just have got to start. You would not believe what happened, how this whole thing came about. One day, I had a very terrible day. I was disappointed on something that did not go well. Then I decided to take a walk. As I'm taking a walk, there was a waste speaker pulling his trolley. As the guy was pulling his trolley, how often most of us go and sit down and speak with these guys? I sat down, I went to him and I started speaking to him. I asked him, Malume, why are you taking these things? What are these things for? Why are you taking this stuff? And then he started telling me where he's taking it and stuff, and I started doing my research. And then it dawned to me to say, you've been struggling and looking for funding to build Flawless Foundation. How about you use what people are throwing away, waste, cans, and like, for example, paper, cans and plastic bottles, and then use those, collect those door to door, house to house, estate to estate, partner with school, go wherever people are willing to and prepared to give you these things that we're going to throw away anyway. And then if you're able to take these and recycle them in order to fund these Jojo tanks and fund these sanitary napkins, then you are good to go. Funding will follow me later. When I got that aha moment, my perspective changed completely. I moved from a moment of where I was depressed to a moment of being encouraged. Because, I mean, you might not give me money, but you do have a can, you do have paper in your house. This is how, now the direction I'm taking in raising funds. It's collecting rubbish in order to change a person's life.
Sure. And Mr. Lonwabo, how do you do this? Are we asking individuals on the street? Do we have a central drop-off point? How are we getting the job done?
Okay, the drop-off places is going to come later because remember, I would need recycling bins that are huge. I will need all these things. So my strategy has been very simple at the moment. Yeah. I've been communicating with schools. Few schools have gotten behind me where they say, okay, we will do the collection. We'll run a drive in our school where you can then, after a certain amount of days, you come and collect. Sure. I'll send emails to Postnet, the printing shops, all these printing shops, because these guys are throwing paper every day and say, guys, can I come on a daily basis to come and collect some paper that you're going to throw away? This, you'd be surprised, is not without resistance. Oh. Sometimes I don't get responses, sometimes I do, but I keep on keeping on because my task and goal and vision is too high. I am looking, Shayla, at 10,000 tons of cans, 10,000 tons of plastic bottles, 10,000 tons of paper to make the kind of impact that I want to make. That's a lot of rubbish that I need to collect. But remember, If you're gonna look at it in the big amount, you might feel discouraged. But it is individuals that say, come and collect this paper, come and collect that. Every day I'm collecting paper. Every day I'm collecting a can. Every day I go. So it's a daily basis. Now, there are a few campaigns I've lined up, a door-to-door campaign within the area where I live in, where I have done some nice flyers where I'll be distributing them, asking them to say, if you've got any waste, come and give it to me or I'll come and collect it, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. Then there's this can for pets. Can for pets and water. It's actually one of the, I think that one is more would get me there quicker because all I need is cans, and these cans are everywhere. People drink cold drink and then they throw it away. But in terms of speaking with restaurants, speaking with estates, mostly restaurants that have got more of those those kind of cans, and then there's plastic bottles that basically you drink milk, you throw away in your estates. So basically, it's been about sending emails door to door. Uh, I'll go around while I'm driving, doing my daily job sometimes, take pictures of the name of estates, come back and drop letters to the body corporates and ask them to get behind me. So at the moment, it's the grind. It's still the difficult moments for now. But what is keeping me going is actually the end result. I can see them clearly.
Talk to me about that vision that you see, that you just described now. You know that you have to keep on going because the vision is clear. What is the vision? Paint it for us.
Imagine if 10,000 girls a year, I can be able to give them sanitary napkins for a whole year. 10,000 girls.
Sure.
And it's a possibility that I am determined to do. Imagine when there's no water in schools for 2 to 3 days, only 20,000 liters of Georgia tanks can solve that issue of water, which is too magnificent. I mean, 2 huge Georgia tanks that you can put in that place, and then it's sorted the issue and kids can come to school. Do you want to tell me in this day and age it's okay to miss 3 days of school because there's no water in your school? How can it be correct that we do not have sanitary napkins? I always say this. You can walk into any clinic today, Shayla, and look for PrEP. You're going to get it. They'll do an HIV test. They'll check your liver and everything else. They'll give you PrEP today. You can go there and say, I had an exposure of whatever happened. I need post-exposure prophylaxis PrEP. They will give it to you today. You walk in every clinic, condoms are easily available. Easily available. So what I'm saying is this: I am moved by seeing this, and I think sometimes most of us, because maybe there's a little bit of we haven't been exposed to some of these issues. You know, I always say to people who want to get behind me, I say, please go with me when I go and give pets, so you can get the experience and feel what I see. Every time I'm taking someone with me, they wanna get behind me. You know, say, come with me. Let's go together. So basically, I can see a situation where, and remember, there's gonna be other Lonwabos who are going to repeat the cycle and do the same thing. Then we're going to make even a bigger impact. I don't think we should wait for anybody when we can be resourceful. And I think that's the most important thing for me, is to not wait for funding, is not to wait for anything. Become resourceful.
Lonwabo, for those who are tuned in and they're saying, listen, I hear your passion, I hear how dedicated you are, and I want to be a part of this movement. How do we contribute? Do we give pads? Do we give cans? What's the best preferred route for you as the lead?
I'll take pets at the moment. I'll take cans. I'll take bottles. I'll take paper. But remember, I've got a bigger plan. If I gave you the pad that I'm using, you would be surprised by the quality of the pad that I have. You'll be surprised that the pad I have can take up to 1 liter of water and still remain dry. It's a specific pad that I envision myself having my own brand called Flow in the long run. Because if I can manufacture it myself, I'll freely remember, if I control the supply chain and the manufacturing, then I determine the outcome of what I'm sending out there.
Mm.
You understand?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
for now, you won't believe, if I can get 10,000 kgs of aluminum,
Yeah.
that's 2 million rands.
Oh, wow.
What can I do with 2 million rands? How many people can I help?
Mm.
From volunteers who are working with me that will be getting stipends,
Mm.
to continuously going to different, and we repeat the cycle. We repeat the cycle, we repeat the cycle, because there will always be waste. We're taking care of environment while we're helping our people as well at the same time. But I've
Mm.
picked up that in our countries, we are still learning recycling. But I'm
Absolutely.
excited to also being part of using waste for social change.
Sure. Lonwabo, where do we find you on social media if we want to get in contact?
So basically, I've got an Instagram account. It's called the_flawless foundation. The_flawless_foundation. That's our Instagram account. Please like it, trying to build that, and that's where you'd find us any given time. We are
Mm.
available there. And also, same thing on Facebook.
Sure. Lonwabo, this has been a pleasure. We cannot wait to see the change you bring. And the desire is that we'd partner with you, not just as a platform, but also as a community, a city, a town, you name it, the province, the country. I hope that we can all come together to see this vision come to pass.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
The voice there of Lonwabo Jabavu joining us this evening, a social entrepreneur, a community builder, and the founder of Flawless Foundation. Imagine collecting cans, collecting paper, and distributing sanitary towels. Of course, getting a hold of those JoJo tanks and supplying waters to various parts of communities that need it most. That is the heart's desire for Nolwabo, who joined us this evening. It is 23, or rather 32 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time, meaning 28 before the show comes to an end. If you want the precise time, 28 minutes before midnight. Let's take some music. When we get back, I think we'll have an opportunity to drag our producer and find out, what have you done to change your society? What have you done to contribute to the greatness of where it is you reside? It might not be a huge thing. It might not be this 10,000 girls initiative. Maybe it's just one or two or three. Do share your story. Find us on WhatsApp, +27 83288 6684.
Be inspired.